are listening to The Wellness Project. I'm your host, Des, and this is episode number 119. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm really looking forward to today's episode because I'm speaking with Rimi about how she discovered the connection between the way that we dress and our mood and our mental health. Now, I do want to put a bit of a trigger warning here. Rimi does discuss her brother's suicide. She does not get into details, but we do discuss it. Rimi and her brother were very close growing up. They would play dress up together. They were really into style and fashion. And unfortunately, in the year of 2020, Rimi did learn that her brother took his own life. Rimi discusses her grief journey, how difficult it was for her to get out of bed every day, how depressed she became, how her world was turned upside down. This is how she discovered that the way she was dressing impacted her mood and her mental health. I'm really looking forward to talking to Rimi today because this is something we haven't talked about on the podcast before, so I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Help me welcome Rimi. Rimi, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So I'm so excited that you're here with me. We are going to be talking about the connection between clothing, the way we dress, and mental health. So to get us started, I would love if you could introduce yourself, talk about your brand, and I know you mentioned that your why is that you really found purpose in helping people to feel better through fashion. So I would love to hear about that.
I am working as a data engineer right now as my day job. It's kind of fun. I like it. I couldn't complain. But I had this thing inside of me, like I have to do something outside of my day job, which wasn't really fulfilling the dream which I had. At some point in time, I really felt stuck. Like when you want to move forward and you really don't see a path anywhere. That's the point in my life where I hit rock bottom. It was the year 2020. It was middle of the pandemic and we were all in lockdown. I got a news from my mother that my brother took his life. That was a really big shift in my life. Like I kind of like my life changed 360 degrees from there. I couldn't move, I couldn't function, I couldn't eat, I couldn't breathe. I didn't know where to go because the pain which I had, I couldn't really explain. It was guilt at the same time that I wasn't really there with him for his final moment, but it's just I always had that guilt and I kind of blamed myself for it, that oh, I'm responsible, I should be there and whatnot. So let's talk about the brand here. So when I was grieving with the pain, I had this one of my sweatshirt which my brother gave it to me, and it's really close to me because he gave it to me, and that's the very last memory of him I have. I found a purpose in that sweatshirt because it gave me hope, a little bit of him, even though he wasn't really there in person with me, but I could feel his presence in the clothes, like the one which you get. I don't know, it's just the feeling when you steal the clothes from your loved one. So it's just, that's really amazing. So I kind of started dressing up to overcome my grief. So my therapist told me, fake it until you become. I faked my way to come out of that grief. I started dressing up that, oh, I'm a happy person, I can achieve my dreams, I can do whatever I want. And every day I used to dress up for the win. Like every single day, even though my mood was trashy, I couldn't really feel my own emotions and I couldn't really comprehend what was going on. I did pivot my way into the fashion and style, and there's where I started the whole journey of dressing up and building my own brand.
Oh, wow, Rimi, thank you so much for sharing that. I had no idea about that with your brother and that he was the reason behind this interest in fashion and your why and how you started getting into fashion and dressing up every day. Wow, that is a really powerful story. I had no idea. So you actually fell into this kind of depression after your brother took his life, and then fashion actually helped you through the grieving process?
Yeah. I feel like there are two components to it. I mean, some people think the fashion is stuffy and like you have to really, I mean it's only for the people who are in fashion or in that industry, but I don't feel that's true. You can really feel whatever. So growing up, I used to play dress up with my brother, and that was really something precious we had between us. I acted my way, being like, "Oh, let's try a new outfit and see how you feel in it. And if you feel like happy and empowered and strong, maybe I can fake it till I become." That was my way. I literally did that every single day, even though I don't really feel the way I want to feel, but that became my reality eventually. I felt really good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people can relate to that, that when you're struggling with those kind of feelings, that grief, that depression, whatever it is you're going through, I think a lot of people have a hard time getting up, getting dressed and dressing in clothes that make them feel good. And
Mhm.
I think that's really hard for people. So how were you able to find that energy to be able to get dressed every day in clothes that were pretty, that made you feel good, that made you feel confident? Where did you get that energy from, or how did you get into that habit and kind of force yourself to do that every day?
Well, at first it was really hard. It was really hard. I dragged myself from my bed to like literally go to my bathroom to take a shower and change. I literally didn't sleep for months. Eventually, like I feel like the time is the only remedy, to be really, really honest with you. And then you have to really drag yourself, and it's all about the mindset switch for me. I started to notice how I feel, like how I feel from outside. That's how I feel from inside. So your body literally responds to every single thought you have, and your brain too. So basically, if you're hurt and if you see yourself in the mirror and say that, oh, you're a shitty person, your life sucks, and you can't do anything because you have always been miserable. So that's how you feel from inside. So I started to shift that narrative, basically saying myself, like, no, you can't do it. You are going to do it, because if you are not going to do it, nobody's coming for you to save you. So that's you against you.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, what is the connection that you see for yourself between the way people dress and their mental health, whether negative or positive?
I really feel like people don't take clothing as it's supposed to be. I mean, it can really change your mindset from within. I was actually going to a study by one of the scientists. They did a study with three people. So they had the doctor's cape, and the another one was painter's cape. Only with the way they told to some people, this is a doctor's cape and this is a painter's cape, their mindset changed. Like literally, the cognitive skills of the people who had a doctor's cape was way higher than the people who had the painter's cape. I mean, like just the way you dress up, it literally changes your cognitive skills, the way you think, the way you feel. At first, it's pretty hard, but if you want to really, really feel confident in your own body and your own clothes, I really feel it's really important to dress up that way. If you really, because that's the really first impression you give to anybody. Nobody knows who you are. Your clothing is your first and foremost introduction. So that's really, really, really important and crucial in every step of life. So that's how it changed my life. I became more confident. I became more put together. I started doing a lot of physical therapy, and also started doing self-care, which I never did before. So it really changed my whole perspective of how I see my life.
Oh, wow. That's amazing to hear that just the way that you dressed had such an impact on your confidence, on your mindset, on your mood. I think that's really helpful for people to hear. And I know for myself that I don't dress up. I roll out of bed and I throw on sweatpants. And I know that that probably does affect the way that I feel every day. But yeah, I think you brought up a good point too in the beginning that you said a lot of people feel like fashion is almost inaccessible. So for people
Mhm.
that feel that way, what advice do you have for them that they can dress to feel good? They can dress in. I think people get caught up in fashion, meaning like what's trending, what's really popular now. But what are some things that people can do to dress to feel good, to feel confident, to improve their mood in an accessible way?
I would say like start from the basics. You should always have the neutral colors. They never go out of style and they're not really expensive either. Like you can go with the neutral colors like white, beige, tan, and turquoise. There are like so many amazing neutral colors. Go with this, start with there, and they are really not expensive. Apart from that, we always have one outfit which we are saving for, I don't know, special occasion. I don't know why people say that. That's and nobody wears that at that time, because when it really happens, we run into shopping and say that, oh, we don't really have anything to wear. Instead of doing that, I would really prefer not to keep anything for like just an occasion. Like make every day as your occasion. You know what I'm saying? Just don't keep it for the day. You should feel every day phenomenal. And if you feel every day phenomenal from outside, that's how you feel from inside. So
Oh, yeah. I love that you brought that up. And I kind of had a similar conversation. I had somebody come on my podcast and talk about clutter and how that impacts mental health. And she said something very similar that a lot of people save things for special occasions. And those special occasions never come, they very rarely
yeah.
come. Yeah. So she said something very similar, like wear the dress that makes you feel good. She said, use the special plates, things like that. So we're always saving things for something special, but I like how you said that every day can be that special occasion.
Yeah, I mean, like every day you should feel like you're going to win. No matter what, you're going out with your friends, you're meeting parents, you're just meeting a client or just having dinner. Like it really changes the whole perspective. It's all about perspective at the end of the day.
Oh, definitely. I agree. And I would say too that a good place for someone to start too, if they don't really know a lot about fashion, is maybe starting with accessories, like getting maybe a bag that they really like or jewelry, maybe some earrings that make them feel good. And I even have this bracelet. It's not super fashionable or anything, but it's this cute little bracelet. It's silver and it has those pads in it that you can put essential oils in. So I try to wear that every day because that makes me feel good. I have like this pleasant essential oil that's supposed to help me improve my mood. I don't know if it really does, but that always makes me feel good. And that's just a little something that I wear every day to kind of help with my mood.
Yeah, that's really good. And one of the thing I have often heard from people that, oh, Steve Jobs doesn't have to do that. Bill Gates don't have so many clothes. Like, why do we need to do the same thing? But I really feel those people don't need an introduction. Everybody know them. So if you are making an impact, or if you're trying to make an impact, you really need to be out there and really dress up the way you want to be treated, because the way you are dressed up, that's how you get respect in every place in your life. So that's really important.
Right. And I like that you brought up that perspective. And I think it's important to keep in mind like how you want to be perceived by people, that you kind of have that power to give that impression. And you always have, and each day you don't have to just dress in one certain way. You could wear a different kind of outfit every day, like you said, based on, meetings with clients, hanging out with friends. So you can dress in different ways for different aspects in your life, depending on how you want to be perceived, how you want your mood to go. So I think that's important to keep in mind too. I think we put the way we dress in this little box, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Your clothes are a crucial introduction of who you are. So that's how they're going to see you, nothing else. Like that's literally the very first thing.
What do you say to those that feel really self conscious or insecure about their bodies? Because the thing with going clothes shopping too, that I've been hearing from a lot of people, that they really struggle with a lot of the shirts that are, quote unquote trending and popular right now. They're like belly shirts and everything's like very tight and like very little material. So what do you say to people that kind of struggle with their body image and they're self-conscious about showing their bodies? How can they dress to feel good but still feel comfortable in their own skin?
One of the thing which I really should tell people, they shouldn't confuse style with fashion. Fashion is stuffy. With style, you can play around. You don't have to be trendy or wearing the one top which every single person on the block is wearing. You have to find the way where you feel confident, where you feel comfortable. I don't really wear every single thing which is trending right now because I know how I look better in my body type and how can I elevate my own look in my own style. I would say people like should play around with their style, like try a bunch of different things and have some fun with it because it's really fun. Like styling should be fun. Fashion is stuffy, so we don't really have to think about fashion. We have to think about the style because it's just a fad, like it might go away next season, but you are still there. So you have to create your own personal style.
Oh yeah, I love that you say that there's a difference between fashion and style. I agree. When you said that, that really clicked for me. That makes a lot of sense. So, do you have any advice for people? Something I always recommend is I love Pinterest, making Pinterest boards, but do you have any advice for people on how they can kind of curate their style and kind of figure out what they like and what kind of things would make them feel good and feel confident and feel comfortable in their own skin?
Yeah, I would say start from the basics. That's what I would do. And look around your closet. Like you might be having one piece of outfit where you look really good. So like start from there and see the color in the same color family and start from there. And also right now, I mean, everything is in social media, so you can take a lot of good motivation, inspiration from people. There are so many people out there. Maybe take a look in their closet and see what they are wearing or how they dress up themselves. So yeah, I would say like social media and look at your own closet. That's your best choice.
Oh, great. I love that idea of looking in your own closet because I feel like another aspect of that is maybe looking in your closet and the things that maybe you wear all the time that really aren't making you feel good. You feel kind of crappy in them. You feel like you just rolled out of bed and threw something on and you don't feel like you look good in it. Maybe get rid of those things, donate them, throw them out. I know a lot of people wear things like they'll wear a shirt that's comfortable, but it has a lot of holes in it or stains. Maybe get rid of those things that
Yeah.
maybe aren't making you feel good or maybe aren't making you be perceived the way you want to be perceived. So I like that idea of starting in your own closet. I think that's really important.
Yeah. I mean, like I have also heard like out of 80%, like only 20% of our clothing are worn. Like we don't even wear 80% of our own clothes. They are just there. I would say like start from there, or if you don't like it, at least take your space out of your closet, like why are you keeping it there?
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't realize that that number was so high. But yeah, I know even for myself, my closet is full of clothes that I don't wear, and my dresser's full of clothes that I never wear, and again, saving for whatever occasion. So I didn't realize that number is so high, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then also once you get rid of those things that you don't really wear, aren't really serving you anymore, don't really make you feel good, you leave room, you make more space for things that will make you feel good, that will make you feel happy, that you can dress in new things that do put you in a better mood and uplift your spirit for the day. So that's a great point as well. Awesome. Well, Remy, this has been so amazing. I've loved this conversation. I think it's so helpful for people to hear. It's just another thing that people can do to kind of improve their mental health. Like you said, that your therapist said, you can fake it till you become it. I love that. And I think a way that people can do that is through the way they dress. And that is something that we do have control over every single day. And I just love your why behind that, how you getting dressed every day to feel good and starting your brand and everything is in honor of your brother. I mean, that's so special and powerful. And I'm so sorry for your loss, but I love that you have this powerful why behind everything that you do and how you're helping other people with fashion now and their mental health. So I really thank you for coming on today and sharing your story.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been great. Would you share where everyone can find you if they want to check out more about you and your brand?
Yeah, I mean, I'm there in syncandremy.com, so that's where they can see me.
Okay, great. I will put that. And I think you also gave me the links for your Facebook and Instagram. I will put all of that in the show notes. So everyone go check out Remy. Remy, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Remy, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story and your brother's story. I love the way that you are honoring his life. Everyone, don't forget that every episode of The Wellness Project has an episode page full of all of the links, detailed show notes. They can be found at accordingtodez.com, and you can find this episode's information and all of Remy's links, so you can follow her at accordingtodez.com/119. While you're there, join my mailing list so I can keep you in the know about everything I'm up to. You'll get my newsletter, you'll get information about new products, new blogs. Everything will be in there. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you in 2 weeks with another amazing guest.